We saw the Joker Folie, Deux, or whatever.
Folie, Deux. You got it. You did it. You did it.
And we saw the 3 episodes that are out in regards to the Penguin. And my notes aren't really that extensive for Penguin, but this Joker, man, I really, it's like I got what the movie was. Nothing.
Spears and Steinberg. You know what the it is? Aries and Andy, Jew and the Jerk. You know it's time to get this work. The real raw, gutter, uncut, cold. No political corrections. Always sleep. Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes. Scribe, we lit. There's levels to this before you was on your mama. Aries Spears don't give a fuck. We talk about race a lot, racism. Much love to my loyal bag holders, rollers, loaders. We got them in the folders. The whole world on our shoulders. Spears and Steinberg. Yeah!
We're in Orlando, Florida. And when I come here, they always, what's this place called? Right there, it's right there. Rosen Hotels and Resorts.
Yeah, this is the Shingle or
the
something.
The Shingles or something. One of the nicest hotels I've ever stayed in.
It's on a golf course, country club like lifestyle.
Golf course, yeah. And they always put me in the suite. So there's, big room. And the view is nice because it's right over I see the golf course, and then I see the 2 pools, huge swimming pools, the jacuzzi. And I'm just noticing how many men wear Speedos. What are you thinking as a man when you put on drawers? Like, put on some shorts, some trunks.
They want to swim fast.
That helps you swim faster?
Yeah, it's aerodynamic. The bigger shorts slow you down the water. They pull you more in.
I'm Aquaman. I don't need to move that fast in the water, man. Cover up. And these be like big out of shape, man. Even if I was in chiseled shape and had an enormous I wouldn't wear Speedos, man.
You know what the funny ones are out there is the dudes that are so fat that their belly hangs over the Speedo so it doesn't look like they're wearing anything.
No, they got a triangle piece covering their piece. But yeah, I was just looking out, and I'm on like the 12th floor, but it seems pretty high, the aerial view that I'm looking at. So I'm just looking in the pool, and I'm like, God damn, look how many dudes got Speedos on. Like, cover your up, man.
They probably sell less hot dogs down there.
No, they sell big, huge hot dogs down there.
I would not eat a hot dog for my life down there.
No?
Nah.
Why?
Because I just see the hot dogs in the Speedos.
Oh, right. It's funny, you put the hot dog in your mouth and so you do see a dude walk by with his hot dog and shit. I think I told this funny comedian named Jeff Brown. Said, man, I'm so anti bite my hot dog in the middle. Listen, I'm telling you folks, we're rolling the dice on this because we don't know how. If it seems like we're talking really slow, it's because we might be trying to make up for the fact that we don't know if we got an hour here. Because we're going to talk about thus the title. Was it Joker versus Penguin?
Yeah, Joker versus Penguin.
We saw the Joker Folie, Deux, or whatever the fuck that.
Folie, Deux. You got it. You did it. You did it.
And we saw the 3 episodes that are out in regards to the Penguin. And my notes aren't really that extensive for Penguin. I mean, the most notes I got is from episode 1. And then I think I got like 2 notes for episode 2 and maybe 3 notes for episode 3. But this Joker, man, I really, it's like I got what the movie was. Nothing.
Now, you know what? I'm gonna backtrack on how I felt about it a little bit. I thought about it a lot we saw it yesterday.
Well, before you tell me what you thought about it.
No, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna say it to you. Oh. I think I got more out of it now.
Well, I remember you said to me when we did the podcast from our respective cribs last week, I didn't know this was a musical. And when you told me that, I, of course, gave the big boo. And I thought about it, man. And I wrote this down before I even saw the movie because we saw it together, Andy and I, once we got here in Orlando, which we had planned to do. And I said, who the and before I even get into that, the reason why I even when you told me was, dude, I've just been seeing nothing online except horrible reviews. I mean, every review, it's people are walking out of the theater. It's god awful. And I even saw one clip earlier this morning where someone is in the theater and they got their phone and they're shooting it. And they said, and they wrote the words down too, but they said, if these sing one more time, I'm out of here. So I went, who the fuck thought it was a good idea for this to be a musical? Listen, man, musicals are only for women and homosexuals. They're the only ones that enjoy musicals. No straight man ever wants to see a musical. Not to mention, you're talking about this being based on one of the most iconic, villainous comic book figures in the history of comic books and superhero movies. This is one of the most iconic villains to ever be in a superhero franchise. And it's like, musicals are for men what the ballet is for women. I mean, musicals for women and homosexuals are what the ballet is for women and homosexuals. In other words, no man wants to see a musical.
Well, excuse these women and homosexuals for wanting to put a little culture in your comic book movies.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm really okay. Let me just say this, because I'm not disagreeing with your idea that the musical is a specific audience. It's not the comic book guy.
It's not the male demographic.
I don't think it is for comic book people who like this kind of comic book nerds that love comic book movies. And I like comic book movies. But that being said, I want to say that there was a great story in this, and you had to get past. Unfortunately, you had to get past some of the part where you're watching this great story, and it seems to be broken up by a song. Like, we went there for the story, we went there for it, and the reason this makes me upset is, and it does upset me, because I remember after watching The Joker, and I looked at my friends and we went, "Hey, DC figured it out. They're going to compete. Mm-hmm. They're going to compete now with Marvel. They could beat Marvel. These movies have been better." And the Joker was like that next level where we thought this is going to go completely DC's way. And then they
dropped the ball.
This is their answer, and I'm not mad at them. You're going to try something else? Go ahead, but couldn't you try it with some? You know what? Aquaman would have been a great one to be a musical.
No, that would have been even worse.
Under the water,
that's in the sea, nigga.
Under the water with the music going on and all that one would have been better. But I'm talking about. Yeah, you want to experiment. You want to come up with something different. You want to show something different. But everybody was like waiting for. They didn't even. They just were waiting for this next piece from DC to come out and be that same gritty. That really just kind of like it was cinematic. It was a movie. The Joker wasn't just a comic book movie. It was a movie. And the Joker, I think we talked about this on the podcast. If you come up with the villain, who's the greatest villain of all times? Marvel and DC. And it's hard to beat the Joker.
Do you see the trend here? Someone somewhere is dropping the ball at DC. Because look at it. Wonder Woman, the first one, fantastic. That Abomination sequel, 1984. Aquaman, the first one, even though I wasn't blown away by it.
It was good.
Was good. The second one, Abomination. Suicide Squad, even though a lot of people didn't like the first Suicide Squad.
But
they even said the second one was better, I think.
I don't think the second one was better. I thought the first one was better. It was the coming together of the Suicide Squad was pretty good, I thought.
Okay, but again, whether it's Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and now this, it's like the first one is great, but then somebody drops the ball on the sequel.
I don't know.
It felt like to me, honestly, because I was thinking to myself, why Lady Gaga? And I know that, sometimes, they want to give singers a chance at acting.
Well, she did The Star Is Born. She was good in The Stars Born.
But again, she played what was safe to her.
Yeah,
music.
a singer.
A singer. I felt like they did this just so she could sing. As opposed to, why did they just get Margot Robbie?
Because she would have been, well, because of the movie itself, the timeline won't fit if you get Margot Robbie.
See, now we're getting into this geekdom because I'm going, what difference does that make? What do you mean the timeline?
The timeline won't work because now we made it. Well, I mean, by looking at Gotham, it's the 70s.
When? During
During what we just watched.
That's the 70s?
Yeah, look at the cars.
I didn't even notice that.
So, and then, well, people have seen this or not seen it. If you haven't seen it, this is the spoiler alert, okay? It's just, I'll give you, don't stop watching our podcast if you're going to be mad that you're going to get the ending of this, of the Joker. And it's been online so much, I'm sure enough people know what it is. But I haven't heard the ending that often. But if the Joker, this character, dies of this Joker, and then we have a new
he
Joker.
did die.
Yep. And I was trying to leave it a little bit open on this here.
Oh, you did,
And there's a new Joker, then a Margot Robbie would have been too old to be the Margot Robbie that's in the.
So she would have been too old to be in this one?
She wouldn't be born yet, or she would have been very young.
Oh.
You know, she's young. She is young. Sorry, she would have been born. She would have been the age of like what you see with Lady Gaga, but she wouldn't be Margot Robbie. And Margot Robbie, the next time it comes out, it would have been she would have been too old playing the younger Harley Quinn.
Margot Robbie felt more like, and I'm basing this off of Harley Quinn, the Bat from the cartoon, when she's, hey, Mr. J, that you know, Margot Robbie felt more to me like, what's the character's name?
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn than Lady Gaga. I felt like, I guess they were trying to sell, this is psychotic, like Harley Quinn is supposed to be. A nut job. It seemed like the focus was so much more on her, this is Lady Gaga and her ability to sing, than show me the nut job.
Well, but she isn't that Harley Quinn yet. This is her beginning. This is before she becomes.
Yeah, see, this is the problem I have. It all feels purposely catered to just go, let's utilize Lady Gaga, as opposed to give us Harley Quinn.
Well, but she isn't Harley Quinn yet. She's just the. But see, this is what I don't like about this is I like the storyline where Harley Quinn is seduced basically by the Joker, and then she becomes bad. Not that she's also psychotic, but this is today, and in the world today, there's equal rights, and women have just as much right to be a psychopath as a man does. So
they are psychopaths naturally.
Yeah. Okay. So
they don't have to earn that.
Well,
it's given. It's a birthright.
I like the storyline where she gets, seduced by the Joker and falls in love, and then she becomes, just she will do anything for the Joker. That.
But they established in the movie that.
This one.
She came from money.
Yeah, this one.
She lied about trying to,
Yeah, she was just a psychopath.
So she just was.
And she was attracted to him. She wasn't.
The fantasy. She was attracted to the fantasy because once he said that the Joker was no longer existing, then that's when she stopped falling in love with. That she fell out of love with him.
Well, because the fantasy it was gone. She was never truly in love. It was the fantasy. She's not going to fall in love until the new Joker. Now the Joker, real Joker
this is
comes
where you
along.
lose me with all this geek. See, these are the people that know this are the ones that go to the Comic-Con.
Well, no, but we saw it in the movie. The Joker. I like how they tied, how they brought the Joker in because now you have the new Joker, because he's standing behind him and he cuts his face and that gives you the Joker that we all loved.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that gives us that Joker.
My father was a drinker. You want to know which of your friends were cowards? Speaking of which, I saw a guy do a thing on TikTok where he said he rated the Jokers of all the people that played Joker from worst to greatest. Now you know who was number one.
Heath Ledger.
Yes. Number 9 from number 10. And I don't know why a lot of people on him. I thought I liked it. Jared Leto. Did you like his interpretation of Joker?
I think it's one of the best.
I thought it was dope.
I thought it was one of the best because he went out on a limb and really went for it as a Joker and made it like a today Joker.
Right.
And
to be honest, I'm gonna be honest. He's number one. I like Jared at number two.
I've said this, and everybody disagrees with me, but that part where he just takes his hand and he puts it over his everything, and that's where you know, okay, this guy is like it's a new Joker. This isn't he's
Right.
depending on just the idea of what has come before him. I thought it was I thought he did a
I
good
thought it
job.
was damn good.
And I didn't like the look at first, and I had to get. But as soon as I saw it, and I bought into him being the Joker. It looked crazy.
Right.
The Joker's insane. He's criminally insane. Jared Leto took me there, and I thought it was fine.
You know, I think it's unfair, and I think it's unfair, and I think that we got gypped as fans that Jared Leto never got a full-length movie with him as the Joker opposite Ben Affleck as Batman. I think if we would have got a full-length feature film with the two of them, I think those two performances with the right script could have been probably some of the best. Right up there with Bale and Ledger.
I think it could have been great. I just think that also that you left Jack Nicholson out of there.
No, I was going to say.
Okay. Because he was in the very campy kind of Batman.
Yes.
And when I rewatched it, I probably watched it like sometime last year, and I rewatched it again, I was like, damn, you know what? I didn't appreciate how good he really was as the Joker.
No, I did. Because, you know, first of all, look, when Jack does the face, the iconic with the eyebrows, and that's Joker already. That's that sinister look. And Jack's one of the top tier actors in the game. So that wasn't a shock to me. I'm gonna play a little Nostradamus here. Dude, when the Batman movie was announced, even before they cast Jack, in my mind, I went, who would make a good Joker? Jack was one of the first people I thought about. Let me take it a step further. And this, to me, is obvious just because of the physical aspect. I went, okay, so they're doing the Batman movie. Michael Keaton is Batman. Jack Nicholson is Joker. Let's say they do Batman 2. You got to think about all the other villains. Who's the perfect Penguin? Danny DeVito. Jumped right out at me.
No, and he did it. He did a good job, but it's still a campy one.
But it's campy, but again, we're coming off the heels of Adam West and Cesar Romero.
And they're nicer Batman movies. Do you know what I mean?
They're family. They're
Yeah,
family orientated.
Yeah. So you can't really make him the dirty Joker.
Which when we bleed into the Penguin, and I went, dude, there's only one. I thought two people. I said, who played a Riddler? There's only two choices: Carey and Robin Williams.
Yeah, you know, I'm disappointed though, because if Carey could have played a darker Riddler,
like the one that the dude played in the Batman movie.
Yeah, but it would have had more. It would have been closer to what Batman I came up with, but dark. And I would have.
But you're saying if Carey would have done that.
Yeah.
But Carey spoke out and said he hated the guy that played. He didn't hate the guy. He hated his portrayal of the Riddler because he felt it was too dark, too sinister, too evil,
but too flat.
But if Carey is saying that, that means he wouldn't have been able to do a good job.
He wouldn't have been that character. He would have brought some levity
he'd have
to
brought
it.
Exactly. And now that bleeds me into this. As much as we love the 89 Batman with Keaton and Nicholson, and when you look back on it, does it hold up in comparison to the Christopher Nolan Batmans and even the one with Robert Pattinson? Not really. But back then, those Tim Burton Batmans were catered. The goal was, let's sell Happy Meals.
Well,
let's sell merchandise. And for that time, especially in 89, I was what, 75, 85, 10, 14. And yeah, I thought that was the coolest movie ever.
Well,
but now I'm so glad they got away from that campy shit.
Well, here's really what it is. And if you think about it, it really has changed. And this will, I think, get us to why we have all these comic book movies. When Batman first came out, could you imagine a 50-year-old man getting excited to stand in line to go watch that movie without kids?
Creepy.
Today, Today, that's what it is.
That's the norm.
Yeah. So we grew up with it. We embraced it. We got jobs people got jobs in the industry. They
Yeah.
grew that comic book industry up, and now it wasn't like we didn't want our Batman to be that Batman. We didn't want Iron Man to be that Iron Man. We wanted our Iron Man to be Tony Stark. I have a drug and alcohol problem, and I'm a narcissist and I'm a badass, and I want that movie.
Right.
And that's why 50-year-old men are waiting in line for it.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, before I came here, I couldn't sleep on. I took a flight Friday morning. I couldn't really sleep much Thursday. I think I went to bed early. I went to bed around 7, but then I woke up at around 9, and then I left my house to come to the airport around 4. But once I woke up on HBO, they had a straight Batman 1, Batman 2, Batman 3, and I watched them all, and I just went, yeah, as a kid, this was cool. As an adult, this is corny. Like the Two-Face and his villains with machine guns, Tommy guns, where the circle cartridge lights up and does lights.
Yeah.
I went, this is, and then when you look at Christopher Nolan, and again, the Robertson Pattinson, and even Ben Affleck's portrayal in Batman, yeah, give us the adults, man. Put the kids away. Bring out the liquor and the cigars. Because that can't be. Ugh, I'm so glad they're not doing that anymore.
But that was the original. It was for the youth. Now we grew up and we kept it with us. We didn't grow up and say, okay, let's return this back to the kids. We grew up and went, nah.
Get the out of here. Go play outside.
So we want this. We haven't given up on it.
Yeah. Dude, you know who would make a great Joker? Who's never played Joker? But you could he's got, like I said, with Danny DeVito. He's got he's already physically there. Short, stubby. Willem Dafoe, Joker. He's already got the face.
Well,
he already looks.
Well, he was Goblin.
Okay.
Back in the day. But
and Chris Evans was Human Torch.
Yeah. Flame on.
Yeah. But yeah, Willem Dafoe, and you talking about a guy with great acting chops.
What about Carrot Top with his muscles now and his red hair?
No, that's the kids. Yeah, bring the kids back in. Get the fuck out of here. Dude, when we were watching Joker the whole time, I was going, this movie should be sponsored by Marlboro cigarettes.
Yeah,
they was smoking. Jesus Christ.
That's another reason why I said it's early 70s. They're smoking up. They were really smoking.
I mean, lighting up every other scene.
In that scene though, where he's smoking and he inhales, I looked at that and I was like, that's some acting, because I don't know if he smokes. I think he must.
What do you mean inhale?
In real life,
right?
He smoke, because I couldn't do that.
Oh, inhale like that?
No.
Yeah, he's one of them people. Like when I smoke, I'll take a drag, blow a little bit out, and then inhale some more and blow out. Them people that they take the drag and they just swallow the whole thing.
The ash, you just see the ash growing as they're inhaling.
God.
I could not do that. No, so that stood out to me as well. Like that was really, what I would do though, that I was kind of, if this is the 70s, if I'm right, I could be wrong, but if this is the 70s, which I think it is, it'd be cool to have callbacks to other movies at the time, because the police are very important in the movie too. Why could you have like a CGI? No, I'm gonna get his name. Hold on, it's right there. Serpico. Al Pacino. How come you couldn't have Al Pacino in the background, like the Serpico guy, on the take on? I don't take, just throw some little nuggets in there that would be fun.
Are you sure this was 70s?
The cars were from the 70s. All the cars were from the 70s.
Okay.
Throughout the whole movie.
Because I'm thinking about it, going, I didn't see no mutton chops or bell bottoms or.
Yeah, they all had bell bottoms. He was wearing his pants were flared. They weren't like 70s disco bell bottoms.
Right,
but they were all flared, and all the cars are 70s. The police cars are the 70s with the round headlight.
Okay, all right. My last note on this was, before I say it, was there any part of this that you went, that's the best part of the movie?
No, I can't think of the best part of the movie.
Best part of the movie for me is when he was singing, in the courtroom, and then he proceeded to hit the prosecuting attorney
Yeah,
over the head
I
with
heard
the
you
stool.
laughing. we're one of 5 people in there.
I said, that's part of the movie right there. The way he hit that so violently.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you didn't expect it.
That was. By the way, we were in there. There was an older couple that were from another country, and he was driving a little rascal, and he had to walk up the stairs. And then when he got to his seat,
I was gonna steal his rascal to go get some to go get a hot dog.
It would turn when you turned it on. It would have made noises going.
The back noise.
Yeah, but he got to his seat after walking up the stairs, leaving his rascal down the bottom. He gets to his seat and he goes, ah. He was
tired?
He was tired. And then there was some guy who came in right when the movie started, sat down, took off his shoes, and went to sleep.
Really?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I was fighting it too, though. I heard you snore a couple times.
I nodded off a couple times because, first of all, it was conducive to sleeping. It was the lay down seats.
Yeah.
And the singing scenes. Sometimes it would get, it was very wordy. But I got to be honest, as I look back at it, even despite me fighting to stay awake, I liked the movie, dude.
You liked it?
I don't like what they did with it. I like the storyline of the movie. I like them going, okay, this isn't our Joker. This doesn't fit our timeline. How do we get rid of this Joker? And then the idea that he caused a movement of Jokers, because that's what I realized. He caused this movement where people were like, more like there was destruction, antisocial, and all these people are wearing a Joker mask. He inspired the Joker, but from something that happens or problems or things, someone rises out of that. He wasn't the one to rise. He started it, but he wasn't the one to rise to the top. The Joker is still to be named, and that's what we get out of the story. And the way that they did it, and this relationship that's going to evolve with Harley Quinn, and if they, I don't think that they're going to go back to that.
Done.
I think that's over, but the relationship is still there. So who knows how they tie it into the storyline, because they can now. They can. I don't know if they will, but they can tie it into the storyline. I actually liked it. I liked the story. I don't like Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent in this is horrible. Is just, that does not look like someone who's gonna grow up and become Two-Face. So I didn't like that character at all. I'm not knocking the actor. He did a fine job. I could look it up and tell you who he was, but I'm not even going to do that right now. I just didn't see him as becoming the Two-Face character. And I don't know if they even cared about that, because, like you said, it's musical light. It's just these musical vignettes that they added to the movie. It's not a true musical.
This for me is definitely not a rewatch. Like if this came on cable, and I had my hoagie or a nice slice of pizza, I would zip past this. I wouldn't watch this again. And listen, did I hate it? Listen, I said in my whole lifetime I've only walked out of one movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That was hatred. So I didn't hate this. But
I grew to like that movie.
This is not a rewatch for me.
No, I grew to like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. By
goodness!
The way. Yes, I saw it again and I was like, okay, I get what he's going, but I didn't like it. Overall, it wasn't. It's not a standalone movie for me like his other movies are. But getting off that, going to this, I might watch it again to try to find out some of the details that I missed, because there's some. It's not what I think that a lot of the reason people were so mad about this isn't that the movie was so horribly bad, because I think the story's there. I just think it wasn't what they expected it to be. And then when they start singing, you're like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, man.
This is.
But if that's what the first one was, then okay. But that's not what the first one was.
No.
So why are you straying so far away from the formula? To do what? I'm wondering, was it the same director?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that might have had a big piece to do with it, too.
It's just, they wanted to do something different. And maybe this was the way to kill the whole so that people would stop talking about the Joker movie, I guess.
This is garbage.
But I do like the story. If you have a chance to... Listen, man, I'm not going to knock anybody's finances here, so I'm not going to say don't go see it. But when it comes on, everything goes streaming within, 60 days usually now anyway. I would recommend watching it and taking a look at it, because the story's good. The story is good. There's just the music sometimes gets in the way where I'm like, wow, this didn't have to be here. I'd rather have more story and less music. Yeah, I didn't care about Lady Gaga being in it. I thought she did an all right job.
We find a way for our pod. You understand what I'm saying? Like, in the middle of talking, nigga.
That's how we
And
should have started
And
this.
we throw everybody off when we do when you do like that.
We should have done. That's how we should have started the podcast stuff.
Yeah, you should have just been talking, and I just
Start singing to me.
yeah. And then when we put our headphones on and our mics come on, like, don't you feel gay now? What was that? What was that?
Gay dust guy.
Oh, right.
No,
when I sing, I just had glitter.
No, there's some musicals that I actually like. I like the musical Hair. It doesn't translate as well to that's the only one that I felt really translated well to screen. Not
The only
movies.
musical I've ever liked, and in defense to me, I was a kid, and part of the allure that got me was the opening title shots because it was animated. Grease.
Oh, you went and saw that as a musical?
Yeah.
Oh, and you saw it on the theater.
Yeah, I
as
was a
musical.
kid. But so other than Grease, there's no other musical I've ever seen or liked. And like I said, I got into Grease because as a kid, when they do the opening sequence, I'm gonna be who you are. Grease is the word. Grease is the word. And they showed the cartoon, and it got me right there.
I think Grease, actually, though, as far as like between these two, let's say these two, I like Batman. I like Joker, obviously, say it because it's a Joker movie, not Batman, but it's Batman-esque. Joker, and I like Grease too. I did like Grease, but Grease, the music fit in the story that was being told and at the right times. There's times when you're in the middle of the story and they go into a song because it's like a vignette. It isn't like they just break into singing. It's like this little, and I'm like,
That must be the French aspect of it, a la the what is it, Folie Deux?
Folie Deux.
Folie Deux. That's like that French, right? Like what
yeah,
that
that's
is.
a French word.
See, the French have always been homosexuals.
This is why we can't get paid on this podcast.
Well, I used the right terminology. I didn't say the F word. I said homosexuals.
Okay. Yeah, but see, so you do have a musical that you like, Grease.
That's it.
Would you watch it again when it comes on TV?
Grease?
Do you ever
Oh, I
watch
watch
it?
it all the time.
Okay.
But once you've played a part in my childhood, then there's a connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a grown
It's
man, I'm
it's deeper
not
than that.
going to go see a musical.
Okay.
What you singing for? Just say the line. You know what I'm saying? Pass me the ketchup for my burger. Get the out of here. You're a man. Give me the ketchup.
You should write you should write that screenplay.
Give me the ketchup.
Yeah, that's your screenplay.
That's my musical.
Your musical.
Give me the ketchup. Give me the ketchup, Jerome. Jerome stands for All right. That would have been Seinfeld singing it. Jerome stands for All right, I'm reaching. Penguin, episode 1. Why they call him the Penguin? Because of the way he walks?
It was derogatory to him, yeah, because of the way he walks.
Okay.
His nose is a little pointed.
Dude, I got to tell you, man, the makeup artists, they deserve an Emmy. Because you cannot tell at all that's Colin Farrell. And Colin Farrell is thought of as a heartthrob. You'd have no he is just as much in disguise as Eddie Murphy as the Jewish man in Coming to America.
Yeah.
That's how good that makeup is.
It's really good, except they're getting for it.
By who? Ugly people?
The penguin character should be not in a fat suit. It should be played by a fat actor.
God, whoever thought that likes musicals?
Well, that's what they made the Joker for. But that is seriously going on right now.
Really?
There's a big thing on social media that that they're blasting Colin Farrell and the casting choice.
You know what? Those are fat, ugly, jealous people. That a good-looking guy who, when you take off the suit, is in great shape. They just you know what? They hungry. Give them a Snickers.
They're upset about it.
Yeah, just stuff their face.
So
with something.
can you think of a fat actor? And this is the horrible. This is the other part. Now I'm saying he's a fat. Now I got to call him he's a fat actor.
Yeah.
If I walked up to say, hey, look, if I cast, I'm looking for a fat guy. Is that all right? Can I cast that way? Fat guy. Hard for fat guy.
That's what the breakdowns
Okay.
are for. That's a descript. That's describing who they want.
But they're going to take the best actor for the part. Okay, but if it's a fat guy, who's the fat guy that can play, who plays the Penguin other than Colin Farrell?
See, nothing jumps out at me. Like Danny DeVito to me was obvious back then.
I liked him too because he was also short. So
Short.
He had a
He was
Penguin-esque
perfect.
look. Hobble Cobblepot. That's what
Oswald Cobblepot.
Oswald Cobblepot. Is that what it?
That's his name.
Yeah. Why did I think it was? Because they said he was hobbling. That's what it was. What was? Trying to think if there's anybody that I can think that's in acting
Listen,
today.
The fact that you're struggling, trying to think of who that could be.
Because I'm sure I'm
Jonah Hill?
Yeah, Jonah Hill's not that big.
Right, he's lost weight. Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, but he's also lost weight too.
Jack Black.
Jack Black, interesting.
You know why I say no? And Jack would have to wow me in an acting way that it throws you. Because I see Jack Black.
Well, but you don't see Colin Farrell, so the makeup artist still could have done it with the
Right.
scars and stuff.
Right.
And they could take this and make it a musical, and Jack Black can sing.
Please no. Please no. No more musicals, nigga.
That's a good call, though. Jack Black's a good one. I'm just trying to think if there's anybody else.
And the fact that we know Colin Farrell has a Scottish, he's either Ireland or whatever,
yeah, there's a brogue.
whatever the Lucky Charm shit is. He's that, and he can totally talk without that accent. I mean, his performance is amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I did see Colin Farrell like 2 times since I watched this. I mean, I've seen him in the Penguin, but not because of the makeup. Just sometimes when you're a star and the look, the eyes, the smile that he has, the smile. It's like, hey, there's a little Colin Farrell right there.
I don't see it at all.
I saw it like twice.
Wow. Dude, as I'm watching this Penguin series, at some point I'm just waiting, and okay, let me take. I'm waiting for Batman to show up, and I'm sitting going, is Bruce Wayne on vacation? It's just odd to have this series. It's supposed to be Gotham, and there's just no Batman.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no Batman. I do like. Did you like how it's?
Why are they giving us the Bulls without Jordan?
Because you have to develop these characters. There's no Batman. There's no Batman in the first Joker, and you didn't complain about it.
You're right, but you're right. You're right.
This is a different storyline, and I asked you earlier because I asked you this yesterday because I just had to know if you saw any similar storylines in there. Do you have this in your notes at all?
I mean, the one episode, I think it's the first one. It is the first one. When he's struggling with the guy in the car as he's trying to get killed. That was Sopranos. Him going to his mother's house.
Yeah.
And
the fact that he's like not this, that his mom has this power over him.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Like you,
but Tony never showed moments of weakness.
No.
This guy at times,
he's
weakness and a little bit of cowardice.
I don't know that you see cowardice in him. He says that it's about going. You got to go through it. When he says to the kid, you got to, you go. We can't go backwards. You got to go through it. You got to come out the other side. So he knows. He knows what it is. I think we all have moments of tenseness, no matter what we're about to do. But the courage is going forward, even though you have fear.
Yeah.
And I think he does. He's been through enough that he's seen that. Obviously, he's been through a lot. We don't know how he got so f***ed up yet.
We don't. And why was it necessary to show that feet?
Yeah, well, because now he's the Penguin too.
Ugh.
Dude, that was.
Ooh.
Do you pay extra if you go get your if you get a pedicure? If you.
No, they just talk about you in a language you can't understand.
Whoa. Listen, I'm not this is not to be racial, but when you go into a place and it's all another language that's being spoken, another culture, and you took out a foot like that, every single one of them is going to go, like that. And they're all going to let you know right there, and they're going to let each other know what's going on.
Right.
And that's all of us. I don't care who it is. You put us in a group, and someone comes in from another group, and they throw something out. You like that? You're going to go, oh.
Yeah, dude. A lot of basketball players' feet are jacked up.
Yeah.
Because I remember during the Last Dance, I think it was episode 1, when they showed Jordan's feet, that motherfucker had hammer time, nigga.
Well, not that you were paying attention to ballet stars, but all those ballet people have up feet.
See, that's why I would never be with a ballet.
Should have up feet.
Ugh.
It'd be like Eddie Murphy in
Boomerang.
Boomerang when he gets down there and he's like,
bitch had hammer time in the shoe. I gotta be honest with you, man. It took me a second to get it, but then I got it. The broad that plays Sophia Marconi, she was Leonardo DiCaprio's wife in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
When she busted him in the limo with Margot Robbie. Kind of sexy to me.
As a psychopath, she's sexier as a
But I thought she was a little sexy too in Wolf of Wall Street when she busted him in the car. The rage, the anger she felt when she hit him turned me on a little bit.
No, but she's doing a great job in this.
Oh, she's phenomenal in this. Oh, I'm telling you, that is one. And again, when we talk about actors and the art of acting without words, shows you how powerful you are. I love that scene in Wolf of Wall Street when that's where you been in the car with that whore from the party? Is that what you want, Jordan? Do you love her? She takes a beat and she goes, do you love her? And Leo, don't say but he does this thing where he as a man, when you've been caught and you want to answer, but you know anything that comes out of your mouth is going to be, but you're also embarrassed. You're supposed to say something because, you've been caught. You got to say something, but you don't know what to say. So sometimes you don't say anything because you don't know what to do. And Leo does this thing where she has do you love her? And he goes, and then he looks at the car as the limo is going off in the distance and looks back at her as though to say, that's awesome, dude. It's just awesome. And again, I put myself in that scene and I go, what do? Because that's not written on the page. He looks at the car, then he looks at his woman, and he looks back at the car, looks at his woman, and he doesn't say anything, but he makes a gesture with his arm towards where the car is going, as though his arm is answering. But that's instinct, man. That is pure, I'm in the moment instinct. That's beautiful. And I only say that because I know comedically, I do the comic version of that on stage at times. When I'm improvising and there's a moment and I feel the moment and I put the pieces together to get the laugh that I need that kills the room, that's a instinctual gift. Comedically, I could do that. Dramatically, I go, what made you do that? What made you think to do that? It's dope, man. That's beautiful.
He's a pretty, he's solid actor.
He's great, man. He's solid. Great.
Maybe he should be in this movie, in the Penguin.
As who?
I don't know. He's coming. What else we got?
And then I went to, what the is this relationship between this black kid Vic and the Penguin? Like, I'm going, why don't he leave? But then they answer. I had asked that question at the end of episode 1, but then by the end of episode 3,
you start finding out why he's there.
Well, why he's there, but more importantly, he had the opportunity to leave and he didn't.
Yeah,
he came back.
He has nothing. But he has nothing.
But he had the girl who he's in love with.
Yeah,
he could have started a life with her in California.
Yeah, but the first 2 episodes, he doesn't have anything.
No.
So, and I also think it's interesting because he's the one that got caught, and for whatever reason, and I think it's because of the stutter And the penguin has his leg problem. Whatever, he recognized something in him as a kid. What do you think about that purple Maserati?
Yeah, I mean, nothing in particular.
Nothing. It was comical that they thought of. I think whoever thought it, they put him in, and it becomes a character.
But was that supposed to have some sort of meaning?
No, I just thought it was funny that it's purple Maserati.
What did I have before? Yeah, I'm watching this thing, and sometimes when something is hyped so much, not that you want to be anti it, but if somebody is hyping something so much, now you're going in with this expectation that your socks are going to be knocked off. So I just kept like how everybody was going, the Joker is trash, is trash, is trash. I'm hearing the opposite about this. Man, the Penguin is fire. And it's the most hype, it's the most exhilarating, hottest show out. So I'm going into this with high hopes. And by the end of the first ep, I was like, no. I'm not hating it, but I ain't in love with it. But I got to be honest now. By the end of episode 3, I went, okay.
Now, I was in, and I'll tell you where I got in. It's in the very beginning when he shoots Marconi, the son.
Right.
Because when he shoots him, the guy's talking shit, making fun of him, all this shit that he's held down, that he keeps pushing down, and now this guy, this young kid that he remembers is a kid now is like calling, and he just boom, 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 blows him away.
Right.
And then he starts laughing like yeah, and then when you see him go from that, like, yeah, f- you, ha ha ha, and then to watch his face, and this is where you have why you need a great actor. He takes his face from there, and you watch him slowly progress to like he's like what, like crying, like what the f- did I just up everything.
Right.
And that moment, I was in it. I think at that moment I was like, okay, so we're gonna have now it's like, how do we get out of this for the rest of this? At least for this episode, but I knew it was going to go deeper than that because it's the boss now. It's the boss that he killed, and I thought that was that scene got me. But and then the other scene that got me is that you're this guy and you're all scarred up and you're not. You find out later he's not even a made man. So, but he's like this. He's a character in this crime syndicate, and he's not a very strong guy. He's kind of up. He might be strong, but he gets the leg problem. He has the brace, and he gets to the stairs, and he has the body. And I love how honest that was. You don't try to figure out how to get the body down. You just drop it off the top of the building.
Right.
And then you go pick it up and you put it in. And that was so that like I've always seen it where they never they do the thing where they drag it down and it's dun dun dun.
Right
No,
down the steps.
yeah, this was just like, nah. I'm just going to drop it down. There was something about those scenes where I felt like the character was becoming real. Like I could understand the character.
Right.
So I that's why I got into the Penguin right there.
They got me at the end of 3. That's when I went, okay, I think I'm in. The great exchange between him and Vic in the bathroom. Back and forth about, you thought I was holding you hostage. You can go at any time. And I felt like because you even mentioned how you were like, they're showing you the characters. It's like, let's get this out of the way and then we can really have fun. But you got to establish these characters. And I kind of felt like episode 3 was Vic's introduction. His real...
Yeah, well, you got to really
see, because, the whole thing with how they started off with him and his girl on the roof and then the explosions and then him struggling with, do I stay out of loyalty to Penguin or do I go out of the love for her? And then he comes back and then they have the heated exchange. So after that exchange and the fact that when he came back and then hit the dude with the car, and then when Joker got in and was like, not Joker, Penguin, take off, let's go. He is, commending him. I'm proud of you. You came back, kid. You showed nuts and la la la. And I went, okay, all right. I think I'm in now.
Now we got a story.
Yeah.
I even like the end of the second episode though, when he depends on Vic. They come up with that scenario where he knows he's going to get caught,
right?
And the family's going to find out or think that it's him. And he already has set up the ring situation, the finger being missing, and then the car comes flying in. I thought that was great. Dude, it's like there's a lot of, there's...
I'm not 100% there yet in terms of, yo, but I'm warming up.
I think it's going to be great. The thing that's missing from this is when we had the Penguin originally in the movie, I thought it was he had a little bit more
Italian Jersey-ish.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of thing going. And
he might have toned that down.
It maybe needed to, because a lot of people said that he was just playing
Tony Soprano.
No, they said a lot of people said he was dude, I need to take some of my brain.
Where your meds? Where do you your meds?
Yeah, seriously. Raging Bull.
Robert De Niro?
Yeah, they said that was like De Niro-esque kind of character.
I didn't see that. I
sound.
saw more Tony.
The sound, the way he was talking.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't get that. And I have to ask this question at the in the beginning of episode 3, when the bombs were going off.
Yeah.
That was from the movie, right?
Yeah, that's from the movie.
Okay, yeah. When Riddler set off. Okay, because I was like, they're piggybacking off of that moment.
Yeah, because that's where that's when the families are at home, and those two just happen to go on the roof to see the fireworks.
Now that even makes, that's why it makes even less sense to me, where I'm going, okay, in that movie, Batman was there during that whole moment. And, he saved the people in the arena or whatever. But now he went on a vacation.
Yeah, Batman had to disappear, remember? Batman, she even says, what are you going to do now? And they just go opposite ways on their motorcycles.
Right.
And so he has to be on a little bit of a hiatus at this moment, because people were blaming him for some of the things that have happened.
What happened to the Batman? Did he leave or did he stay? Tune in next week, boys and girls. Did Batman go to Cancun or Aruba or Turks and Caicos? Yeah, so what now?
Was that important to you, though, that Batman? Did you ever watch that Batman when you were growing up?
Yes, that was my childhood, nigga. Yes.
I love that Batman. Let me give you some dates, man. Let's get out. We got a show tonight. Let's do this.
And my stomach is bubbling.
That's not good for me. All right, guys. We're coming to you from Orlando Funny Bone. I found out it is Orlando Funny Bone, as I couldn't figure that out the other day. Yes, it is the Orlando Funny Bone.
Improv. They changed it.
On the Facebook, she's told me it still says
Improv.
Yeah, because they can't change it, because they're like that here at Facebook. Anyway, we're finishing up here. This is Saturday. We got one show tonight, Sunday, and then we are done here in Orlando. And nice crowds last night. Even though they came out, weathered the storm, and they came out to support, so it's been good. Okay, October 17th, that's this next weekend, one night only, Vancouver Playhouse in Vancouver, British Columbia. We'll be right there. October 18th through the 20th, we're going to be at the Spokane Comedy Club in Spokane, Washington. So that's this next weekend. That's the weekend you're listening to. Some next weekend, but it's the weekend we're on right now as you listen to the podcast. October 25th to the 27th, we're going to be at the Improv in Tampa, Florida, which also could be a funny bump, but I think it's still an Improv. October 31st through November 3rd, we're going to be at the Chicago Improv, which is a Chicago Improv. November 8th, we're going to be at the Hawaii Theater in Honolulu. That's one night only. November 15th to the 17th, we're going to be at the West Nyack in Levity Live in West Nyack, New York. November 21st to the 24th, 21st to the 24th, we're at the Improv in Ontario, California. Happy Thanksgiving after that. November 29th, Texas Trust CU Theater at Grand Prairie, Texas. December 13th to the 15th, Raleigh Improv in Cary, North Carolina. December 19th to the 22nd, Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia. December 27th, one night only, Pikes Peak Center for the Performing Arts in Colorado Springs. And December 28th, the Paramount in Denver, Colorado. That's till the end of the year, folks. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, that's the show.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit spearsburgpod.com.